Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Premier League Fantasy Football and welcome to my video. In today's video, I want to look at my team and see how well they performed in game week 1. Then we move ahead and we'll look at the transfers and my team set up for game week 2. So here we go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please do subscribe as it helps my channel out a lot and drop a like on the video. Hopefully this video will get up to about 100 likes. So as you can see, so far I've got 69 points, but once the bonus points are added in, because Haaland's got 3 bonus points, I will get 72 points for game week 1. So a really good start, and the template basically worked. I can tell you that the average is 55 points, and my game week rank is under 1 million, so it's around the 900k. So this will be updated very shortly. So let's go through the team. Now, a lot of FPL managers out there went with the 4 at the back, 5 at the back. I just went, you know what, I'm going to try something a little bit different. Well, I say different, but just, you know, the formation change. I went with the 3-5-2 formation. So I kind of gambled on these cheap midfielders doing well, but they did not return. If they did, they would have made me a lot of money. And yeah, they didn't perform on the night, and these things can happen. But I'm going to go through my team. So Ramsdale in goal for me at 6 points, a 5 million goalkeeper. That is 15% owned. So a little bit of a differential of mine. I had Zinchenko in my team as well before, but I removed him and I went for Martinelli, which he returned. But looking at Ramsdale and looking at that fixture against Crystal Palace, I think they were quite lucky to actually keep a clean sheet. Although Ramsdale saved a couple of shots. One more save, he might have got a bonus point or 2, but I'll take that. Trent with 1. Mitrovic that did really well against Liverpool, scoring 2 goals. It was just not Trent's night, although, you know, he's always threatening when he plays. Cancelo with 5. Now, Manchester City is beating West Ham 2-0. They only got a couple of minutes left, so I'll refresh and see if that's the score still. So he's got me 5 points. He got himself a yellow card, which did not help, but I'll take that. And I got James that, even though he got himself a yellow card against Everton, he still managed to get that 2 bonus point, which is actually pretty damn decent. He's been taking a lot of set pieces as well, a lot of corners, and that helps a lot. If we move down to DS, only 2, although he had a goal disallowed, which was, I think Robertson was offside, and he hit the crossbar, which was really good, which was really close. So he actually performed well, but just did not return. Bailey with 2. Neto with 2, disappointment there. I'll talk about them a little bit more like a couple of days later when I watch more of the highlights. But Salah, main captain, he was my captain option from day 1. And as you can see, he got a goal and an assist. He's got 2 bonus points as well, which helped him to give us 12 points. So I captained him. Martinelli, a little bit of a differential, 6 million, 23% owned, which is actually not too bad. Scored a goal that he wouldn't do, so he scored a header goal. He actually was a little bit he was playing really well early stages of that game against Crystal Palace, but then it kind of wore off, and actually Crystal Palace was playing much better in the second half. And Haaland, as you can see, a lot of people went with that strategy of bringing in Kane, and that was a good strategy on the night. You know, Spurs beating Southampton 4-1, you would have expected Kane to actually return. But it was always a risk. It was always a risk because we kind of knew that Haaland would do well, even against West Ham. If he gets any kind of return, that's a massive bonus. But he got 2 goals. He's going to get 3 bonus points as well. He got a penalty. And Kevin De Bruyne done a lovely through ball and scored a lovely goal at the end. Jesus was one of the biggest disappointments, as you can see, 74% owned, highly owned player. Played actually really well in the first half against Crystal Palace, but then, yeah, it was just not his night. But I think with these fixtures coming up, I think it should be okay. And as you can see, this was my bench, players that actually played, which is really good. They may help me out later on. And as you can see, I actually still got 1 million in the bank. I don't know where, I don't know what to do with the 1 million, to be honest with you. I don't know why I still got 1 million, but I got 1 million. So anyways, let's go through some of the fixtures. Then we'll look at my transfers and my team setup for game week 2. So now I'm just going to go through the fixtures and give you guys a little bit of an overview. I'm not going to go too much in detail because we've still got a few more videos left for game week 2 to do more in-depth stuff. So Arsenal beating Crystal Palace, a big game. Crystal Palace actually played really well in the second half. They could have got a goal, but Martinelli with a goal, Saka with an assist, and Zinchenko with an assist, getting himself 12 points. Keeping a clean sheet and 3 bonus points, which is massive. And I think a lot of FPL managers are going to go for him. For me, I had him in my team, but I removed him from Martinelli, so these things can happen. Fulham actually played really well against Liverpool. They're drawing with Liverpool 2-2 there, as you can see. Mitrovic scoring 2 goals, fantastic for him. There's a couple of strikers like Wilson and Mitro that is going to shape our teams up in the next few game weeks. Salah got a goal and assist. Darwin, a player that came off the bench and got a goal and assist. And for me, I actually got the money that I need to go for him. But I think I'm going to keep DS for one more game week and see how things go. But very, very good player. And I think a lot of FPL managers will try to get him. Bournemouth, I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting it. I was expecting Aston Villa to do well. They didn't. Bournemouth beating Aston Villa 2-0 there. Leeds 2-1. A tough game. Neto didn't really do much. So, you know, a player that a lot of us has. But Bamford with an assist. Rodrigo with a goal, 6 million. So there's a couple of options there for us to kind of look at. You got Newcastle against Nottingham Forest. Kind of felt that Wilson would do well. You know, he is in my Sky fantasy football, and he did. There's a couple of defenders from Newcastle to actually look at. The one that I would recommend is Trippier. Trippier he's fantastic. He's always advanced and taking a lot of set pieces, so I can see him getting a massive haul. And you got this game here, the Spurs 4-1 against Southampton, and you know what? If you look at this fixture, you think to yourself, wait a minute, 4-1. That means Son and Kane, they probably got big amount of scores, and they didn't. It was other players, and that kind of like it was a kind of a shock that they didn't return big. Although Son got an assist, but it's still not enough because a lot of FPL managers went with some of the Spurs players, then switched to Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne. Ward-Prowse getting a return for Southampton there. Everton versus Chelsea. Everton actually played really well. I felt sorry for them. A couple of injuries at the back for them. So I think we might need to target Everton just because of that. But for Chelsea, Jorginho getting that goal from the penalty, Chilwell and winning that penalty there. Reece James is the one to kind of like go with, to be honest with you, from Chelsea right now. Although Sterling looked like a threat, he was all over the place. So definitely I can see him getting big returns very soon. Leicester City versus Brentford. I didn't really watch this match, so I can't really say much about it. Although Tony got a return, Vardy, you know, Madison, the big players that a lot of people might go for. 2-2 there. Manchester United losing against Brighton. I mean, Brighton is a good team, don't get me wrong, but at home, yeah, 2-1, and not even on the score sheet there. Like, I had some Manchester United players in my team, but then I kind of was looking at the team. Okay, Sancho was like ill, and Martial got himself injured, and Ronaldo's still there. So I thought, you know what, let me just see what happens. So I removed Rashford, and it was a good choice. And as you can see there, Manchester City beating West Ham 2-0. And Haaland getting, Cancelo as well, getting 2 bonus points. This is good. So what have I got? 72, 73, 74 points? I will take that. 74 points. That is a good return. That is a good return. So let's have a look at how my team is looking like to game week 2. So it's early stages. of course. Um, I got no transfer. Like, I got no plans of making a transfer. But if something happens to one of my players, then I have to make that because I'm not really relying on my substitutes there. But let's quickly go through. So Ramsdale in goal against Leicester City at home. Could be it could do well. Arsenal's first home game of the new season. That might be good. And there's a lot of every single player that I have is playing at home. So that's fantastic. So everyone is playing at home, which is great. Trent against Crystal Palace, great fixture. Cancelo against Bournemouth. I can see Manchester City do really well there. I can see Haaland scoring a lot of goals. James versus Tottenham is a difficult one. I can't see him keeping a clean sheet there, but you just never know what can happen in these fixtures. I've got Luis Diaz against Crystal Palace. Hopefully he continues to play. And if he doesn't, then there's a risk that he might be on the bench or he might only play up to about 60 to 70. And that is a spot that I could change. Bailey, a lot of people's talking about him. He might not start, but you just never know. He did play okay, but he's a cheap player. And right now, I would rather like bank the transfer and then make 2-3 transfers in game week 3. So that's what I'm thinking to do. Salah could be my captain, so we will see against Crystal Palace. Is a good, really, really good fixture for him there. Neto against Fulham. Hopefully, he can get a return. Fulham is an attacking team, so there could be some goals there. Martinelli against Leicester City. Hopefully, he gets a return. Haaland's going to be my captain against Bournemouth, and you've got Jesus against Leicester. So looking at this team, it's actually really, really good setup for game week 2. Decent players on the bench to kind of help out. So if I'm looking at this, I would love to bring in another additional Manchester City player, but I just don't know who to go for right now. And I don't want to break my team up too much. The balance and the structure of it is actually pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm not really looking at any other players, but if Bailey doesn't start, maybe we might get some news in this game against Everton. I'm not sure which players that I would want to go with right now. There are a couple of players I might want to go for. So let's just have a quick look at this. So if I figure out that maybe Luis Diaz might be bench, I could actually remove Greenwood and go with Darwin there, which is 9 million. And with that 1 million, I actually got 4.5 like in the bank to make a decent transfer. It will be a minus 4.8, which I don't really want to do. And I can get Andreas. He actually performed really well. It was a little bit advanced. So I could do something like this. So, and as you can see, I've got perfect money. It will cost me 4 points, but I don't really want to do that. And there's no massive like changes that I want to make right now. I want to look at game week 2, see what happens, and then try looking at like game week 3 and onwards. I don't need to wild card, so I'm going to keep that. But this is what kind of like transfers that I'm looking at. I would love to bring in another Manchester City player, but I just don't know who. Maybe Foden, maybe Mahrez, but it's very, very difficult to kind of figure that out. Gundogan started as well. That could get some returns. You just never know. Kevin De Bruyne is just too expensive to go and get. Foden and Grealish is players that could play, might be on the bench. There's always that possibility. And I just don't know if I want to take that risk in game week 2. Looking at these fixtures, maybe I could go for like a defender, like maybe a Newcastle defender, like Trippier if I wanted to try my luck. But, I do have the money to upgrade one of my 4 million defenders to a 5 million defender. And I could try and get in like Trippier. I can't get Zinchenko because I got 3 Arsenal players. But those are some of my picks. Those are some of my suggestions. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, really good score. Let me just quick look at live FPL. I'm just going to refresh this. Hopefully it will work and it doesn't break. Here we go. Yeah, 74 points. So 74 points. That's really good. Yes, 736,000 rank. Perfect start. That's fine. You know, that's completely fine. I'm happy with that. Over the moon. Perfect start. You know, I know like it's still around the just you know around the it's not like 500k or 100k. It's fine. It's early stages. You know, it's fine. Don't worry about the rank too much. That's a great start. So that is about it, guys. I hope that this video has helped you. Please give the video a like. I hope that my videos has supported you throughout game week 1. Let me know in the comments below how well you did. Let me know what kind of points that you have, and yeah, I'll look at my comments tomorrow morning. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this video will get up to about 100 likes. That would be incredible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.